Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the live stream with Lana Shalom. My name is Lana Shalom. I'm a certified neurographic instructor and coach. I am going live on both Facebook and Instagram, so just gonna go here and there, okay? Hello. Welcome. I hope Facebook can see me also. Yes, just want to make sure that I am live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are here live, welcome to say hello to me. We're doing something exciting today. We are doing the exploration of the NeuroLine. Okay, I'm going to tell you a bit more as we are exploring more about the NeuroGraphic method, as we're learning more. And yesterday I told you about the new development, new ideas, new additions within the NeuroGraphic method. Today I figured, why don't we do something actually practical? Hello, Alicia. Welcome, welcome. Welcome from Italy. Hi, Jacqueline. So nice to see you on Facebook. Welcome, welcome. We're going to do something exciting today. I'm going to tell you a little bit about NeuroLine, those of you who are new to NeuroGraphica, and those of you who are not new to NeuroGraphica, stick around anyway, because you may learn something new for yourself. And then we're actually going to draw, okay? I'm encouraging you to take a big piece of paper, okay? At least A3 or bigger. I want you to take a nice big piece of paper and prepare your favorite markers, okay? For about 10 minutes, we're going to talk. I'm going to have some interesting, exciting presentation for you. As we're going to explore NeuroLine, what is, NeuroLine being the base of what NeuroGraphica represents, okay? Again, for those of you who do not know me, you just kind of happened to walk into this live stream. My name is Lana Shalom. I am a certified neurographic instructor and coach from 2018. NeuroGraphic is amazing, amazing transformational method where we combine art and creativity with the coaching premises, okay? The idea of a coaching is you figure out what is your goal, where you want to go, where do you want to be, and where you are now, and you start creating a pathway for yourself, okay? And to do it with a neurographic method is a great way to do it, because you bring creativity, you bring art, you bring beauty, you bring aesthetics. And moreover, I'm going to tell you, you're going to bring your soul. Okay, we're going to actually explore the idea of bringing your soul further on, as when I'm going to do a whole live stream about the reflection process. But today we're going to talk about what makes NeuroGraphica unique. Okay, now again, those of you on Instagram, you're welcome to watch me. If you want, you can switch to Facebook, because I'm going to turn on my presentation, which I'm inviting you to see. On Instagram, no worry, I'm still going to explain, I'm still going to talk about it. But those of you on Facebook, you can actually see my presentation, okay? And here's an idea. I have an idea for you. I have a question for you, I guess, more likely would be. Okay, here you go, okay? When we talk about NeuroGraphica, right? If I ask you, what was your first impression when you saw a NeuroGraphica drawing? Okay, let me find you a NeuroGraphica drawing. You know what? I'm thinking, so that those of you on Instagram, you can look at my, okay, like this, okay? Those of you on Instagram can see the drawing, those of you on Facebook, okay? What is the uniqueness? Okay, now, those of you who know anything about art, those of you who are artists, those of you who are art historians, or just people who like to go to the museum, and just look at different type of art, you can tell me that, Lana, I think NeuroGraphic, I ask you, what is NeuroGraphic, right? A lot of people look at NeuroGraphic and they say it's just a form of art. Okay, and if I ask you, what kind of art is it, right? There are different directions in art. There are different ways to do art, right? There is classical art, right? There is impressionist art. There is modern art, right? Contemporary art. Most of the people will say that this is modern art. Okay, and here's what I would like to show you. Let me see if I can do this. Okay, there you go, slideshow, okay? If you look at modern art, okay? Look at modern art. I just turned on my presentation for those of you on Facebook. Those of you who's not on Facebook, you can just, modern art is kind of art that has different shapes, okay? It's an exploration of different shapes. It's an exploration of lines and shapes together, okay? And it's interesting because one of the principles of NeuroGraphic actually states that the world consists of shapes and lines. And when you look at the modern art, it actually kind of proves it to you. It shows you that, yes, when you look at life, you can notice that life consists, anything, any outside object. Those of you on Instagram, you can see my background now, right? You can see the trees, you can see the grass. I have a lake outside. And if I look at it strictly from a shapes point of view, right, strictly from a modern art point of view, I can start noticing that shapes have a certain, leaves have a certain shapes. The trunk of the tree has a certain shape, right? Those of you watching it, look, this is Don Quixote, right, on the picture, and he has a certain shape. So the idea is that the premise of modern art is that you can draw anything lifelike, anything from life can be drawn in a way of using various shapes and some lines, okay? And that's the idea. But when you look at the NeuroGraphic drawing, again, I'm going to show you my drawing. Let's look at something else here. Okay. 1 second, let me stop sharing. Okay. What do you notice? It's a bit different than the modern art that I told you. Now, again, it is modern art because we're using shapes and we're using lines. What makes a NeuroGraphic drawing specifically very, very unique? Yeah, I'm going to turn on the NeuroGraphic drawing for those of you on Facebook. And for those of you on Instagram, I'm just going to show you my own drawings, okay? What makes NeuroGraphica a very unique method, in Russia, they actually did pattern NeuroGraphica as a kind of art direction, as an art, different type style of art. I'm not sure if that's something that has been done in other countries, but it's interesting to start noting that NeuroGraphica has something extremely unique. That's not like any other modern art that has ever been drawn before. The uniqueness of NeuroGraphica, if I may say so myself, if I may argue so myself, is that NeuroGraphica offers something we call the NeuroLine, okay? Look at the giant, thick lines that are on my drawing, okay? And those of you on Facebook, notice, right? I'm showing you NeuroGraphica drawings. The NeuroLine is what makes the NeuroGraphica style unique. There are different types of modern art, but what makes NeuroGraphica separate, what separates it from any other art, is the uniqueness of the NeuroLine. The uniqueness of this very, I like to call it the lifeline. NeuroLine, look at this, look at this. Different types of line. NeuroLine is unique. We're going to actually start exploring it very soon on our own paper again. Again, if you are not driving or not in motion and you would like to draw with us, welcome to take out as big piece of paper as you can. I myself have an A3. I don't have space on my desk. I would actually even take a poster size paper because we're going to explore what NeuroLine is, okay? For the next 5 minutes, this is the NeuroLine. Okay, get ready, get the paper ready, get your favorite marker. It does not matter whether it's ultra fine or even thick markers. It can be any marker you want. It can be a kid's marker, okay? NeuroGraphica is what brings out our inner child. It's when adults actually borrow or sometimes steal markers from their kids, right? But that's what it is. Get a marker, find any marker. If there is no marker, a pencil might do it. If there is no pencil, yes, you may use a pen, although usually we are not allowed to use a pen. But today, we're not doing a usual NeuroGraphic drawing. We're going to just do a NeuroLine exploration, okay? Look at the beauty of the NeuroLine. Those of you on Facebook, look at the beauty, look at the uniqueness, okay? What do you notice about the NeuroLine? okay? What do you notice? There is waves, right? There is a waviness to the NeuroLine. There is some kind of, idea of the line going up and the line going down, going sideways, right, left, around, okay? Look at this. We have NeuroGraphica in nature, okay? One of the principles, the principle number 9, actually states the world is made of shapes and lines. We talked about it, right? And look at this. If we start exploring objects in the nature around us, look at this. It's a beautiful picture of the pomegranate. If you look beyond that, it's a familiar image of a pomegranate. If you start looking at it from the point of view that it's just shapes and lines, notice the lines, notice the shapes, the little circles or ovals, right? The circular shape of the pomegranate and the circles and ovals of the seeds inside the pomegranate, right? It's interesting. This is the view, an image of the water from above, from the satellite picture. Look at the melon, right? The honeydew. Again, if you look at it strictly from the point of view of the modern art, okay, notice you have oval shape. And then when you look at the seeds, it has a different shape. Look at the leaf over here, right? Look at the little veins within the leaf. That looks like a NeuroLine, right? Look at the skin of the honeydew. That looks like a NeuroLine. And that's the idea. Look at the trees, the image of the trees, right? The bushes, the hillside. Look at this beautiful tree. Look at the way the sun shines, also the shape, circle and lines, straight lines. But when you look at the tree, the lines are neurographic lines, neurolines, right? The neuroline is unique that it's not a straight line. Why? Because it imitates life, it imitates nature, it imitates human life, it imitates our journey in life, okay? Journey in life is never straightforward. None of us ever have a straightforward life. Even if sometimes we'll look, the grass is always greener on the other side. Sometimes we'll look at somebody and say, they're so lucky to have everything handed down to them. They're so rich or they're so privileged or they were born into like a royal family. Guess what? Anybody and everybody have issues. Nobody's life is straightforward. Everybody's life is a journey through the NeuroLine. It's a journey through a line that's never straight. It always goes up and down. It goes around, right? Sometimes it bends, sometimes it goes straight and then it bends again. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down. Sometimes it goes to the right and sometimes it goes to the left, okay? Look at this. This is the beauty, the beautiful picture of the DNA. And that also constitutes, right? One of the ways we learned about the NeuroLine in 2018 was that Pavel Piskarev, the founder of NeuroGraphica, Pavel Piskarev, PhD, he would tell us that NeuroLine is like the neural pathways. It imitates the lines of your neural pathways. This is the way your brain connects to other body parts, right? Connects, gets signals, gets impulses from other parts to tell you, right? If I want to raise my hand now, before I raise my hand, the impulse, right, is sent to my brain. My brain gets the idea, this kind of multi-seconds before I kind of send a signal to my brain, I want to pick up my hand, and my brain sends a signal within the inner neural pathways to my hand, and it kind of, I control my body, right? We're human, we are adults control their body most of the time, right? And I'm able to pick up my hand, right? Little kids, babies, newborn babies are not able to do that. Why? Because they're still figuring out how to connect their mind, their brain, the impulse, how to send the impulse, and how the body should be listening to the impulse, how the body should follow the order of the impulse. Look at the beautiful picture of the Earth, the planet Earth. Look at this. Look at it again. Don't look at it because it's familiar picture of the Earth, image of Earth, but actually train yourself to look at it critically, okay? Look at the lines. Follow the outline of the continents, okay? Follow the outline of the oceans. And you will notice it is a perfect NeuroLine. It's a beautiful NeuroLine over here too. You know what you can do? You can actually print it out and take a neural marker and just go on the you know, the contour of the shapes, of the nature shapes. And you will notice, you can even take a tracing paper, put it on top, and just go on the contour. And then you take the tracing paper and look, it's a beautiful, perfect NeuroLine. The line, the premise of the NeuroLine, it's a line that does not repeat itself at any point of its journey. Okay, and we're going to practice that rule now. It's one of the golden rules. It's the main rule of the NeuroLine. I'm going to show you now how we can draw. We're going to draw the line of life, lifeline, also another way to call it, right? And we're going to draw something unique. And I'm going to tell you, even though I teach you, even though we all have the same rules, each one of you will draw your own unique line. No one's NeuroLine is ever the same. Guess what? Even my own NeuroLine is never the same. And I'm going to show you that too. We're going to draw one NeuroLine and we're going to draw over it again. And you will see you can never repeat the same NeuroLine. Sometimes the rule is to go over the NeuroLine. And sometimes you notice how your hand wants to go on a different way. Okay. Look at the lips. Look at this image of the lips. Again, go beyond what you see. Go beyond the familiarity, right? This is a part of cognitive psychology that when we see something familiar, our mind right away locks it into a certain image and refuses to go further, right? So when we look at this picture of the image of the lips, we just like, oh, it's lips. What if we go beyond it? Okay, kind of close your eyes, open your eyes, and just look deeply. Just stare for a few seconds. Stare on one of the lines. Stare on this little opening between the lips, right? And notice it's a beautiful, perfect NeuroLine. Okay. Look at the beautiful rose. If you follow the contour of the rose petals, that's a perfect NeuroLine, right? Look at this. This is a dry tree. Now, what about it? This doesn't look fully like NeuroLine because it's straight lines, right? And that's what dry trees look like, by the way. You notice that they don't have that uniqueness of the NeuroLine. They're just straight because there is no life in them. Okay, where there is void of life, there is straight line. Straight line is not a lifeline. It's not a live line. Okay, live line, life journey, being alive is about making this kind of contour. Look at this dry, even though it's a dry leaf, you can see it still has some wavelengths left in it, right? But if you look at the beautiful tree, look at this is growing, right? Some kind of, I think it's like dandelion or something, right? Look at the beauty. Even though it's straight, look at the beautiful shapes that intersect with it. Look at this other rose petal, right? Look at the tips of the petals, right? Where the purple is. You can see two different NeuroLines here, right? And that's the idea. Look at the web that's being weaved by the spider. Would you say it's a NeuroLine? For some people it is. Sometimes we draw a NeuroLine like this that's very sharp, that has a lot of sharp turns. And we're going to talk about it now. When we're going to draw a NeuroLine now, we're going to explore that. And that's explored more in the neuro sketching course, is where we explore different types of NeuroLines and what they represent. Why do you sometimes want to draw NeuroLines that are very sharp, look like zigzaggy, look like a triangle, and sometimes you're into drawing nice and wavy and circular NeuroLines, okay? Look at the beautiful outline of the clouds here. Okay, look at the beautiful volcano line here. Look at the water lines, right? Water is a beautiful, beautiful connection to the NeuroLine. Look at the lines that the water creates when the rain drops on your window. Start noticing again, start looking critically at everything around you. Start noticing that life consists of lines and shapes. And sometimes those lines are straight, but sometimes, most often, those lines are NeuroLines. They're more wavy, right? Look at this. Look at the beautiful circles. We will be exploring circles maybe next week or the week after, as I will go into shapes. But at this point, notice the beauty of the lines around us as we look at nature, as we look at pictures in nature, right? Look at the glaciers here, the beautiful iced mountains, right? Look at the even dry trees sometimes still contain the NeuroLine within them. Okay. Okay, if you're ready, let's do this. Let's start the drawing. Again, get your favorite marker. It can be any thickness you want. Okay. I'm going to transfer my camera. You get ready. Prepare a paper. Prepare a marker, your favorite marker. Those of you on Instagram, I'm just going to go like this, okay? Give me a second. Let me turn my... Okay. Can you see my paper? Yes, you can. Excellent. You can see my paper. Okay. Get your favorite marker. Get your favorite color, whatever color you want, okay? You know what? I wanted to draw with blue, but now I realize I need to make it with green, okay? And look at this. I'm actually going to take different colors of green, different thickness of green. Let me see if I have a thin, ultra thin green marker. Do I? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, I only have two. I have a fine and a kind of an ultra fine. I wanted to find something that would be even thinner, but at this point, yeah, I don't see any. Okay. It is what it is, okay? Let's take a marker and let's start exploring it, okay? Any color you want, okay? And this is what we're going to do. Oh, I just realized I cannot see. Mhm. In a second, I just want to make sure that Facebook is working okay, that it's live streaming me. Okay, excellent. I'm here. Let's do this. Okay. First and foremost, look at this paper. Before we put anything on it, it's just a white paper, okay? White paper represents openness. White paper represents possibilities. Anything and everything is possible on this paper. Just think about it. Think about it as a philosophy in life. Anything is possible and everything is possible. Actually, I heard Pavel say that many times. He likes to say that. He says, my motto in life is anything impossible and everything is possible. I remember when I recently heard it and I realized that's why I've always been attracted to this method. That's why when I met Pavel personally, I remember we had like this rapport, you know, we were able to talk because it's this familiarity in your life philosophy, because that's a life philosophy that I share. Everything is possible and anything is possible, okay? And that's the idea. Okay, today we're going to do something unusual. I know the rule is, and one session I'm going to actually show you the golden rules of NeuroGraphic. We always draw from one side of the paper to another, but I want to try something else today. Remember, this is an exploration of the NeuroLine. Just try. First, if you never drew NeuroGraphica before, watch me first, just for you to understand what NeuroLine is, okay? And just start anywhere in the paper. You can start in the middle, you can start on the left, on the right, up, down. Doesn't matter. Just kind of like explore the paper. Where do you want to start? Ask yourself, where do I want to start? And then you're going to be quiet for a few seconds and hear the answer from within, okay? And just watch me. Okay. And this is a NeuroLine. It's not a straight line. It has no pattern, although this looks a bit pattern-like, right? And I pay attention to it because I'm like, oh, what's going on here? Why does it look like a pattern? Because the truth is, NeuroLine is not supposed to be a pattern. And this is a clue to myself. And I'm thinking, maybe my life became a bit of two pattern. And that's the idea. When we want any changes in life, we need to first get out of the pattern, because our life is a series of patterns. You wake up at certain times, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning. For some people, maybe 11 o'clock in the morning, whatever your schedule is. You wake up in the morning, right? And you start following a certain schedule, right? I'll bring my own example, right? I wake up at 7 o'clock, sometimes 5 o'clock, sometimes 6 o'clock. 7 o'clock, the kids start getting up, getting ready to go to school, right? Take them to school, make smoothies for them to eat as breakfast, right? Fruit smoothies, then go to school. Then I come back, and it's a series of certain pattern, right? I'm exploring. This is the pattern I have. And I realize I want to come back here and draw further. Okay. And I'm going over my line as I'm exploring this, something that I call schedule, right? A pattern of life. I have a certain pattern within my life. Notice, even as I go over the line, I can never make the same line. I try, but still I cannot fully imitate the same line, and that's okay. That's okay if you feel like going off. Notice, it may actually happen. Allow yourself to kind of vary a bit, to get off your schedule, to get off your pattern, right? I have a series of patterns. I come home, it's cleaning, it's cooking if necessary, it's work. For me personally, it's also prayer time, right? And I have to make sure. And I'll tell you, I'm the kind of person who believes in time management. As much as I try to have some kind of time management, I have a certain schedule, I always get off my schedule. It's always doing something more than the other. And then I'm like, oh, did I do enough of this? Let's try again. Now go over. Look, I took a thinner marker, right? And I'm going over the lines, and I'm starting to notice, where do I want to do things differently over here? You guys notice? As I'm going over this pattern, like, I notice that, yeah, now that I'm aware of it, I notice that I want to do things differently. Let's do this again. Notice I'm still going to the same area, and I start somewhere. But in the middle, I change the course. And that's an interesting clue. That's an interesting way to start looking at things in life, okay? What happens when you follow your pattern? Where do you want to do something different? Okay. Allow yourself to explore. Okay. And this is an interesting part. Okay. I'm not going to draw, I'm going to show you with my fingers. Just some understanding. When you go from the left to the right represents the future, left represents the past. If you started drawing vertically, the bottom represents the past, the top represents the future. The going to the top, vertical drawing always represents vertical growth. It's the ability, it's the readiness to grow further. That's why we have vertical drawings, like a neurotree. When you draw a line horizontal, in my case, it's like a bit horizontal and a bit diagonal, right? It represents the idea of exploration within, not growing vertically, which is like actually changing, going from one level to another, but rather stay in one level and explore it further, grow width-wise, we call it. It's about learning to understand something about yourself. Before you're ready to grow up, you need to what? Understand something about yourself. You need to be comfortable with who you are. And that's why we always go, sometimes we'll go to the left, which is the past. Sometimes we'll go to the right, which is the future. Okay, start noticing. Let's say at this point now, I'm going to start drawing from the middle, right? And I ask myself, where do I want to go? Do I want to go to the right or do I want to go to the left? At this point, I'm encouraging you to stay on this neural line, okay? Don't draw other lines, okay? We're doing, again, something very unique here, okay? I start noticing that I want to go to the right. I am interested in going to the future. But I notice that I want to go to the left too, and I'm taking a thicker marker. Nice, notice. Okay, you saw how I changed the direction a bit here? And this is what I'm encouraging, just for the sake of today's drawing, today's exploration, I'm inviting you to go with the line that you originally drew, but allow yourself to get off the course a little bit. Start exploring, start seeing the signs. The beauty of the NeuroGraphic method is once you learn how to draw the NeuroLine, what you're learning to do is that you are learning to connect to something within you. We like to call it the soul. The scientific word for it would be, I would say, close word to it would be intuition. We connect to our intuition. We start understanding, who am I? What am I? Notice what I'm going to do. I'm going to go over the lines, but this time going slower, and this time stopping to, yes, maybe we can metaphorically call it smell the roses, but practically we're doing something called the rounding. I'm going to go through all the lines here, go over the lines, and this time add the roundness as a way to bring harmony. The rounding is another uniqueness of the NeuroGraphic method. Okay, and that's why in Russia, the NeuroLine is actually called the Piskaryov's line. It's been patented to be named after the creator of the NeuroGraphic method, the Pavel Piskaryov, right? And yes, maybe somewhere, sometimes before, I'm sure somebody else drew the NeuroLine, but Pavel was the one who popularized this line. Pavel is the one who took this line, took this idea, took the name, took the, the metaphorical explanation, the understanding, the connection to be made, to use the line to connect to who you are beyond your reality, to who you are always and forever. There's I that I was yesterday, there is I that I was an hour ago, there's I that I was 10 minutes ago. And then there is I that's going to be in the future. There is I that was maybe in my previous lifetime. Okay, there's I that was as a child when I would connect to my mother, right? There is I that remembers how my kids were born. And then there's I sometime in the future. And that future, seemingly I don't have a connection to it because everything I mentioned to you about my past is something we call memories, right? Memories is what connects us to the past. What connects us to the future, if I may ask you? What connects me to the future is this connection to myself who exists in the future. Is this connection to my soul. Soul is about being connecting to yourself in this time continuum process, right? In this kind of way where you go beyond time, right? Time as we know it is a finite entity. So we always think, right? I like to tell my kids, don't waste time. And sometimes I have to tell that to myself, right? Especially if I watch a favorite movie or a favorite show, or I find something on YouTube, right? I was talking to my SMM, my social media manager, and she was encouraging me. She told me you should do more reels, you should do more stories. People want to see it. And I said, I am not an Instagram person. I don't go on all those reels and stories. And she's like, well, good for you. You are very unique. Most people aren't into that. So yes, sometimes I do find myself going on reels when I'm on Facebook, or sometimes my kids tell me, Mama, look at that cooking show. I am into cooking stuff, right? So yeah, sometimes I have to remind myself that time is a finite process, finite medium. We need to be aware of time because it's the physicality, the reality of our world is about fact that time is finite and we live. The past is, we live through the past. We live in the past through our memories, but the future, how do we connect to the future? Connection to the future, and that's why so many people are interested in various, integrative practices where we do meditation. For me, it's a prayer time. In my prayer time, I notice that, I lose the concept of time as finity because I connect to my soul, right? I'm a religious person and I connect to God. But, everybody have their own kind of, I would say like idea, some people instead of God say universe, whatever it is, there is a part of you that connects you to the future. Again, in the scientific world, it's called intuition. In regular world, we call it the soul, the spiritual part of who you are. NeuroGraphica allows you to connect to it through something very simple as what we're doing now, just drawing a line, just drawing a wavy line, a line that sometimes goes to the right, a line that sometimes goes to the left. But what it really does is connect you to your intuition, to that part of you that knows what's going to happen in the future and how it connects you to the past. And that's how we create something we call the present. The present is a bridge, right? There's a famous sage, Reb Nachman of Breslov. He said, life is a narrow, narrow bridge that connects you, the future to the past. And the idea for you is to be able to kind of stay on that bridge without falling down. Because sometimes the bridge is shaky, it shakes down. Sometimes it's a hard shake. And you have to be strong. You have to connect. You have to take hold of the bridge and hold on to it. Because sometimes it's shaky, but guess what? Up front there is the future. And the future is very attractive. Sometimes the future is attractive because when we have images and fantasies and imagination, sometimes the future is scary, right? We get scared. We're not sure what the future brings in. Sometimes we have such vivid imagination that we start getting scared. What if that is what? A mirage. What if it may not come true, right? Those of you who are imaginers, we know that sometimes we're afraid to imagine too big because then we get what? We need to come down. Then we become Icarus, right? We get burned in the sun. We get too close to the sun. And that's the idea. The NeuroGraphica, through the use of, again, just a simple line. But when you start connecting to it, you realize it's more than a line. It allows you to connect to the future. It allows you to shape the future. It allows you to understand what is the future. Not just a general fantasy, I want to go on vacation, but what does it mean for you specifically? It allows you to make the future individualized for you, me, myself, and I, right? All parts of who I am. Part of who you are when you were in the past, right? When you were a little child, something we refer to as my inner child, right? And sometimes it refers to somebody who is my inner adult or my inner parent who is sometimes too strict, but really is afraid to just dream big, because dreaming big may bring you to bigger disappointments. And you explore all of it. Next week, I'm going to bring to you the reflection process where we explore all of this on a mental level, on an emotional level, and connect further, explore further of the possibility of who I am. Remember what I told you? When we just started, we took the white piece of paper and what do I say? This is a possibility. Just a clean slate is already a possibility. This is the reason why when people get married, the bride wears white. It's a representation of the clean slate starting in you. Starting, it's a representation of something new. Whatever happened in the past does not matter. We make, right? And that's the premise of two people who get married. They say we make a commitment to each other no matter what happened in the past. Past stays in the past. We are committed to go to the future. And that's the symbol of the white dress. It symbolizes purity. It symbolizes openness. It symbolizes lots of possibilities, blessings to bring something new, to bring something unique, to start something new, and to, start something beautiful. And that's the idea of the NeuroLine. NeuroLine is connection, connections of who we are, our past, our present, our future. And it's interesting to note, remember how I told you, even if you try to follow the same line, look what happened with me, right? We had one main line, but as I drew, more lines were added. It's different possibilities. It's the idea that my journey is here. I'm in this is my present. But notice what I did. I actually went and I drew some line, represents my past. Your past is about the fact that it's support. And there are different entities that can give us support. Our family can give us support. Our parents are always our support, whether in some cases people don't know their parents, no matter what. They are your support. They're the ones who created you. I have an amazing course called Healing Your Inner Child, where we explore all of these ideas through the neurographic drawing, right? And that's the idea. The idea is that you have various ways to connect to the past. You have your family, you have your parents, you have your ancestors, right? We have in the Neuromandala course, we have an amazing algorithm called the mandala of ancestors, where we connect, where we get support, we get power, we get strength from connecting to our past. Our past is also ourselves, that we did something, right? Like in this case, when I'm teaching you about NeuroGraphica, my past is my knowledge. My past is my connection to the Institute for Psychology of Creativity, the Russian one, the English one. My past, and that actually is my future, is the connection to Pavel Piskaryov, the creator, the founder, right? Somebody asked me today, where do you get all this information, all this new developments? And I said, because I'm connected to the Russian Institute and I constantly watch. I watch every single basic user session that's given every month or every 2 months. I watch every single specialist session, right? I listen to Pavel. I hear what Pavel says, all the new developments he brings, and that's how I'm aware. But it started here in the past, in 2000, I would say in 2017, when I discovered the NeuroGraphic method, and then in 2018, when I decided to go and become an instructor, and that's my past. That's what gives me support and strength and knowledge into coming out here and telling you. And here I am in the present, right? But over here, look at the possibilities. Look at the future. The future has many possibilities. I can get to, this is the future. I can get to my future by going this pathway or going this pathway. Look at this. They're not far from each other, right? I don't want to, but honestly, I could. I'm just going to show you with my finger because I don't feel like drawing. But let's say I could also draw a line that would go this way to the future. That could also be a possibility. And you can explore that. I don't feel like doing it because I feel like this is the pathway. And what I'm going to do is, adding more neural lines, kind of making this pathway more interesting, more full of possibilities, right? Because I can go this way and then I can walk this way, right? And that's what it is. Drawing different pathways, different ways for you to journey ahead from where you are to your future. And if you need to, sometimes you can go to the past. You can explore the past, but only as a way to go to the future. Okay. Let me see something. Yeah. If you want to, what you can do here, add some color. Color represents emotions. Take a color that speaks to you, okay? At this point, we're not, I'll do a separate session. As I said, this year, I'm going to actually do refresher courses. I'm going to introduce all the certified courses all over again, the basic course, the specialist, and then we're going to do the composition and the color. And that's when I'm going to teach you what different colors represent. But for now, just take the color that speaks to you, the color that says, here, take me. and start exploring. You can use a pencil, which is what I'm doing, right? You can do, actually, I'm thinking highlights would even be a better option for me, okay? Now I'm gonna take, look what I'm doing. I always do this. I always try my markers on a separate, let me try this. Yeah, I feel like doing green, okay? You can add different colors. Explore your NeuroLine, your lifeline through the color. Color adds the emotional being into who you are. It adds the way to connect to your future emotionally. It adds the way to heal yourself in the past emotionally. Okay. Sometimes, and there is an amazing algorithm within the specialist course that we call the score, where we go into our past to heal. Okay. And then we go toward the future. Sometimes before you go toward the future, something is holding you back. And that's when you start understanding that, maybe I should travel into the past, kind of fix something and come back, heal myself. The premise of healing yourself is actually a part of the basic user course, okay? The main algorithm, the basic user course, is actually known as the course that teaches you to remove limitations, okay? The best way to remove limitations is to take a basic user course. It's a self-healing course. It's a course, excuse me, that brings you to the idea of healing, the idea of, starting new, the idea of you can always start fresh. You can always learn to go forward. You can always stop living in a pattern and create new possibilities in life, create new ways, new pathways for you to journey into the future. That's the idea, okay? That's the idea of blue. It's the idea of the basic user course. The basic user course is a self-coaching course. This is the part where you learn how to start, going beyond your limitations, going beyond your regular pattern in life, going beyond, your 9 to 5 kind of day, or beyond. We all know that even though it seems like we have a 9 to 5 day, it's really beyond that, because there's always something we do before 9 and a lot of things we need to do after 5. That's the idea. We're so used to living this 9 to 5 that in the morning we are not focused on what we're doing now, but rather on getting ready for that 9 o'clock start, right? For whatever metaphorical explanation has to you, whatever your pattern in life is, right? And then you start understanding that after 5, you're so tired that things happen after 5, but you're not so into it because you spent all your energy before, during that 9 to 5 time, when you were doing whatever it is you're doing. And sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a creative thing, but most of the time it's this representation that I had here. Some kind of pattern-like behavior, some kind of pattern-like life. And you feel like you want to get out of this rut. You feel like you want to do something different. You want to reach something different. You want to start something new. And that's when you start. That's when in your life appears something we call NeuroGraphica. And that's when you start understanding that there is a possibility. There are different possibilities in life. Life is never one line. Life is never a straight line. Life is always a series of going backwards and forwards, going up and going down. Know just what happens, right? Now I'm going up, right? In this line. That's the idea. It's learning to love yourself even when you are going down. It's learning to respect. It's learning to respect the journey, learning to respect your own processes. Okay. Learning to respect the rest when you need to take rest. learning to be okay with the fact that sometimes we get sick. God forbid, I don't want anybody to ever get sick, but sometimes we get sick, and that's our body giving us a message that take a rest. It's time to stop. Okay. This is my exploration of the line. I would love for you to post your drawings. Welcome to post your drawing. Welcome to tag me. That would be a great way for you to say thank you for a great energy exchange, this, like kind of gratitude. And by the way, do you remember about gratitude? We're meeting on Sunday. We're going to have a nice long drawing, about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, okay? 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sunday, November 24th, as we're entering the Thanksgiving week here in the USA. I want to explore gratitude with you. So welcome, come and join me. Let's explore gratitude. Those of you who do know NeuroGraphica, you know all the 8 steps, you're welcome to explore this drawing further. You can add more lines, more shapes, more color, up to you. Those of you who know or maybe don't know NeuroGraphica, I'm offering you to just allow this to be the way it is, just a glimpse into the future. Okay, I'm living mine as it is. It's very symbolic to me, the way it is, the way it looks here, with a lot of white on the side, a lot of possibilities. Some lines are colored and some lines are not. Also possibilities where I am ready to emotionally feel myself in the future. In some parts, I'm not ready to emotionally connect yet. Okay, join me on Sunday. If you want to learn more about NeuroGraphica, welcome to join me on the basic user course. The price is still low. I'm increasing the price as I'm going to set a date for the refresher course in December. I'm going to set a refresher course. So welcome to join me now. Welcome to explore the possibilities of who you are and what you are as you join me for the basic user course, for the refresher course. Again, welcome to post your beautiful pictures. I'm looking forward to seeing them. Please feel free to tag me at Lana Shalom. I would love to hear, how was the session for you? How was the drawing for you? How did you feel when you wandered into the future and then maybe sometimes in the past, but ultimately we are here. We are now. We are in the present. Okay. Thank you for joining me, dear Instagram. I enjoyed it. Thank you for joining me, dear Facebook. Again, you can rewatch this video. It will be available on YouTube pretty soon today, and it will be available as a replay on both Facebook and Instagram. I wish you a beautiful day ahead, or night for some of you, and thank you for joining me. I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to talk more about the basic user course, algorithms of the basic user course, something new that's happening there. Okay. And again, looking forward to seeing most of you on Sunday for a live drawing. Goodbye, everybody.